Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Meta Cafe. Grab your cup of coffee or your tea and sit back and relax because we have a lot to chat about this morning. Waiting in the wings are a couple of beautiful women, one named Anjahlia and the other named Amala, and we are awaiting the arrival of Londa, Sjamirra, to be able to talk to you today about the heart dreaming of opening the Creation Temples retreat that these three ladies are working on for August this summer here in the Pacific Northwest. And I'm really excited about this because it's such a different sort of attempt at creating. And I love the way that they're working together as a team to be able to do that. So as soon as Londa gets here, we will bring her in. And why do I see her suddenly logged in here? Oh my goodness. Now I'm going to freak out. So either Londa is going to walk in my door and sit down next to me, so don't get alarmed when you see someone come in my door, or she's going to show up here. I don't see her on here, girls, so I think we are still waiting for her. In the meantime, let's just quickly chat about the astrology for the day. I didn't even prepare this, but, technologically glitches happen, and so we deal with it. And so today being the day before the summer solstice, yay, right? So we are closing out the season, the spring, and here in the Northwest, we're closing it out with rain today. It was really kind of chilly this morning when I got up. And so tomorrow we expect that we're going to be moving into new energy for the next 3 months. And tomorrow morning, we'll actually talk about what does that look like, because when we do up a chart for a season, we can kind of get a glimpse at the energies that are prevalent for the next 3 months. And even though, it won't be all in that one day, we have the ability to see how what happens tomorrow affects the next couple of months. And of course, that's different for each of you in your charts. And we'll talk about that as well. And tomorrow also, the planet Neptune, which really is the planet of unconditional love and spirituality and our connection to idealism and humanitarianism, it turns retrograde. And I actually love it. That is like one of the planets that I really love when it turns retrograde, because it gives us an opportunity to be more intuitive and more in tune with everything that is in the unseen realm. So we have the next 5 months of Neptune in retrograde for us to get really used to working with our intuition. In fact, what I usually find with Neptune retrograde is that if you don't listen, if you don't take the intuition seriously that's popping up in your world, then when November comes around and it's time to turn back to forward direction, we find that we've missed the boat. We've missed an opportunity, and we find ourselves going, I should have listened to my inner voice. So let's not fall into that trap over the summer. Let's get really good at listening to our intuition. Okay, Londa's in here. She says, I don't know what that means. So in the meantime, I'm just going to bring in the two ladies who are waiting here in the wings. And if Londa gets to join us, great. If not, then we'll worry about that later. But good morning to you, Amala and Anjahlia. It's really great to have you here with me this morning. Tell us a little bit about yourselves. Why don't we start with you, Amala?
Oh, okay.
Wake up.
Yeah, it's early for me, let me tell you. Okay. So
where are you at, Amala?
Pardon?
Where are you?
Well, with this stunning accent of mine, you'd think that I was in England, wouldn't you? But I'm actually here in Vancouver, just across the border in White Rock. So I'm really handy.
40 miles from me.
That's right. So Londa or Sjamirra can just pop across the border and visit, which he has been doing. And so, yeah, I'm a local. And I came here about 10 years ago by accident. I just came through here because it was easy to get a plane from Hong Kong. And I had been living in Hong Kong for 5 years. On my way back from having visited the beautiful Koala, who is our teacher in the Divine University. And so, life or my guidance was to come to Canada to visit, and I met a beautiful person, and I continue to visit for long periods until I actually just recently got my Canadian residency. And but sadly my partner died, so that was a bit of a downer. But anyway, apart from that, I work with the mother whales, and I have done since 2003. And yes, it's what you would call watery, but it's also very much about the libraries of light. And in this particular avenue that we're going into on Mount Baker, it's really exciting because they are real. They are the whales hold those libraries where all the information, or not all, but much of the information that we gather and stored is held. And so they're excited to be part of this creation journey and allow us access to this fabulous information that's available to us if we know how. And that's what we hope to be able to show our people who are called to come and be with us.
Awesome. Did I hear you say the other day that you have not yet seen an orca?
I have not. Isn't that sad? Yeah.
They are pretty amazing when you see them. I mean,
I'm hoping to, because we're going to be going on the boat of part of the weekend. We're going to go out to Orca Island.
yeah.
So who knows, right? They might show up because they're around at the moment. But no, I've seen all the others,
It's a
but not this one.
possibility. I know. I was. Let's see. Where was I? Oh, I was on San Juan Island, which is a neighboring island to Orcas Island,
Yes.
and right out in the bay, just right by the lighthouse out there, were baby orcas swimming with the mamas, and it was so amazing to see them. They were just cavorting and playing.
Oh,
There were also dolphins with them.
wow.
Which I thought was interesting. There must have been something that they were feeding on, but it was quite the sight. So hopefully you will have that opportunity at some point here in the Northwest.
No kidding, eh? Yeah.
All right. So Anjahlia, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and what you're doing with this program?
Well, my name is Anjahlia Mareesa Sheehan, and I'm a cosmic shaman and a New Earth shaman, and I live in New Paltz, New York. So I'm an East Coaster, and I'm coming to the West Coast. And here's our beloved Sjamirra, and I'm also a graduate mentor of the Divine University with our teacher Kuala Shriyama Phoenix, who you can check out this amazing site with a free heart portal to join. And we've I was invited by Sjamirra to come to the Washington area, and I had been receiving for quite a while about Mount Baker and the Three Sisters, and it turns out it's a volcano cascade all along the Washington-Oregon coast. And the more you might feel the frequencies already rising, that the more Sjamirra started speaking to this about what we would be doing, we started co-creating, and then she invited Amala into our trinity. So we became like this weaving of each of us have particular gifts. And my keepership, which is kind of like my divine presence's mission, is keeper of the Christ gateways of creation. And turns out that volcanoes are creation portals. And so that when I started, we started receiving this information about the volcanoes, I started really understanding that something wants to happen. We just kind of used our intuition, like you were saying, that the Neptune is bringing everybody's to connect to their intuition. We started like accessing our intuitive divine presence and started listening. And that's what's been happening. It's almost like we're in this big brew, in this amazing opportunity of our workshops that we're asking you to see if you're invited, because we're opening up to all the new shamans, the new seekers of the divinity within themselves, the star seeds, the angelic beings, those people who are wanting to connect back to earth. We're calling you to see if you resonate with what we're bringing through our own frequency into our workshops. And I'm a multidimensional channel of the Ascended Masters, and I'm a seer. It turns out I'm a master seer, which means that I haven't closed my brow chakra since Atlantis, which is amazing. I don't know how I did that, but Anyway, I just thought I was a very creative person. I've been seeing things since I was a child. I thought, oh, that's an artist. An artist sees things, but there's more to it. And part of the work of a seer is to do these journeys. I do these multidimensional journeys that we go all over the place, and we might visit with different portals in the different etherically, and work with creation temples. And that's what we're going to be doing, is opening up creation temples. And part of my work is a gatekeeper, and a gatekeeper helps to open up the access. And what we're doing as human beings in this time of ascension is becoming back to our connection to source, right? We all want to go back to where we were one, right? Where we were tuned in, where we listened to Mother Earth, where we had connection with what's God or source. So part of what my work is on a personal level with my private sessions, and on a planetary service work, which is what we'll do in our workshops. We're doing inner work, inner self-mastery, and outer planetary work. And it's always got to be the same thing, is opening up everybody to find out who they are and bring in their divine presence, like this attunement to this flame that everybody has inside of themselves. Yes. And then begin to access what I call the totem pole, which is this beautiful multidimensional totem pole that rises with the upper 9 realms and the lower 9 realms. And like we're very understanding about like the celestial, angelic, universal realms, right? But do we really know about the earth, inner earth, and middle realms? I don't think so. And that's part of our work, as what we'll be doing in our workshops and my own personal work. And I found that I really work with the magical realms, the pathway of ascension through the magical realms. Like I'm a fire fairy, and I also am a unicorn, a rainbow unicorn, because the seer is a unicorn, multidimensional feminine principle that brings through this sense of love, which is another part that we are doing in our trinity. Each one of us is what I would call a mother. And we bring through this mother, it's like the remothering of humanity, because we've been without the mother, the divine mother, for 5,000 years, right? So the mothers are coming back, and we're bringing everything everybody needs. If you think about when we're back in connection, what are we? We're connected to everything. We have what we need. We're fulfilled. So that's what we kind of do, is help people find their own fulfillment in our trinity. And that's what we'll be doing in our workshop, is what you need, you'll find, you'll birth it, and then we'll help you we'll birth you in the birthing channels. We'll go through purifications and waterfalls, and we'll work with the fairies. I'll be doing a special evening sound bath at Big Lake, and also a day journey with the fairies, where we're going to work with trust and helping. The fairy are here ready for us. We've channeled that they're here waiting for us. This is the time. If you're drawn to reconnect with the earth and the fairies, then we need to have almost a ceremony so that we remember who we are and we can trust each other. And they're saying they're willing to become visible, like the invisible become visible. Yes. So I don't want to take up too much more and give beautiful Sjamirra her time.
the one sitting here on my shoulder.
I'm the fairy on her shoulder.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I changed dining room sets, so the chair that I have now for you is too high. So she's here next to me
on my knees,
on her knees. So I just want to say, so Amala, you would be the mother of whales. Is that correct?
Yes. Correct.
And then Anjahlia, the mother of fairies, or the angelic realm? How would you put that for you?
Good question.
Of the elementals, maybe.
I've got to think about that. I think the fire fairy is creation. So I would say a mother of the fairy creation. Right? Or a mother of creation. Yeah. That feels what I first thought.
All right, so Londa, now it's your turn. You tell us about you. Tell us about you.
I am so excited because I love listening to these women speak about what they're bringing forth, that I get involved in that. It's hard to speak and share what I do. So anyway, my spiritual name is Sjamirra, and my given name is Londa. But when we work through this Divine University and stuff, we are all given spiritual names. And that spiritual name is just part of our divine presence. So when we're in full mastery and we're connecting to our divine presence, that's who we are. and when we're in our higher selves, we bring in those higher frequencies, energies, and so that's how we get our names and within the Divine University. So I am Sjamirra, and my work is that I bring the Christ healing systems through the waterways and activating Christ temples on the healing on the earth. That is my job. And so for the last 7-8 years, I've been working with our teacher about bringing in the Christ healing systems for our physical bodies on the earth and help supporting us here on the earth as new humans and how to move through any problems that we have within our physical being, but working through an ascension temple of Christ healing. That's the simplest I can put it.
Right, right. So the three of you then, tell us how you came upon this idea, because I mean, to me, when I first heard about this, I was like, oh my gosh, that's absolutely perfect. I get it. I get the whole idea of the creation energy, because we're in such a time astrologically of destruction and reconstruction
And rebirth.
and rebirth. So you could say that's death and rebirth, construction, deconstruction. So tell us how you guys, how did this come up? Do you want to talk about that?
So I've been sitting with this for a few years, because we've actually done a lot of work up here at Mount Baker, as far as 7 years of Christ healing retreats up there with our beloved Kuala, and then also we brought the Mamos here, and then when we brought the Mamos here, because they are what you call high medicine men of the earth, and Anjahlia is one of the sagas for the Mamos, so she can actually speak about them.
Tell us who the Mamos are.
Anjahlia will tell who the Mamos are.
Okay, cool.
I would call them the holy men of the Colombia, Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta's, and they wear white, and their whole purpose is to work with pagamentos, which are blessings and purifications for holding the consciousness of humanity to balance with the earth. And so that their job is to balance the collective consciousness of humanity. And that's what they do as their primary focus. And so we're here helping them reconnect with, they call us the younger brothers, the younger sisters, because they've found that, things are going out of whack, out of balance, and they're making an outreach so that we can all come back together to create the new earth. And that's their main job. And they're extremely devoted to Mother Earth, and they've never lost connection.
And they've been here to the Pacific Northwest?
Well, we brought him here several years ago to the Pacific Northwest, and we took him up to Mount Baker, up into what our Artist Point.
Oh.
And when they were there, they were in this sacred holy space with the earth, which they always are, but they loved the portal there, the energy there. They could feel the connectivity to the whole of the earth as just as easy as they do when they are in the Sierra Nevada. They called it home for them. When they were there, they felt home. They felt like they could stay there forever, because they could also see the glaciers and everything. And the glaciers hold the records of the earth. So they knew the significance and the importance and the power of the Mount Baker portal and the connectivity to all realms through there.
Mm.
And so that's why we want to hold this sacred event. I'm calling it a sacred event, I guess. There with the three of us, so that we can assist everybody to tap into these beautiful divine energies within them and connect them to the inner planes and the earth portals there. And I have known for a long time the power of this place, because we're surrounded by trees, we're surrounded by waters, the islands out here, the San Juan Islands, Orcas Island has galactic birthing portals. I know that Chekinip Mountain, many people have had their spiritual awakenings there. And it's just a place that holds you so deeply in that connectivity. And with ease and grace, you can tap in to that place within the presence, within your own being. And and be in that inner place of peace within. And then it opens up you to other worlds, other dimensions of your own being. And yes, like it's like you're making the invisible visible. And so we know the power of this place because others have come here, like Eckhart Tolle, to anchor all of his major work here. This is where it was birthed to. So we're just wanting to bring people here to help them birth a higher part of themselves that is ready to come in, ready to be anchored. And it's just like we're going to be working with the creation energy of the portal, the creation mothers and the fathers. I've connected with one the other day. And anyway, it's just going to be the sacred energies that we're going to be connected to so people can, tap into a higher part of themselves that is ready to be birthed.
And this is a powerful place to do it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
For those of you who are tuning in this morning, and let me just take a quick shout out. Good morning, Colleen and Ashley and Benita. It's great to see you. Londa's listening. Isn't that interesting? Elisa, good morning. And Patricia, it's great to see you ladies out there this morning. We are chatting this morning with the three women who are responsible for the Creation Portal Project, or three of you. I would imagine there's others of you. We are speaking with Amala and Anjahlia and Sjamirra, who are attempting to bring people together here in the Northwest to open up creation portals. Now, Amala, you've been silent there for a little bit, so I'm going to ask you to tell us a little more now. What is the role of the whales and the dolphins and the music, the sounds that you bring to the picture in this creation project?
Wow, really deep stuff. Okay, well, my understanding is that the frequency that comes through when I'm in ceremony is really clearing away the clutter and any fragments or disturbances that in other people's in their own column of light. So the mother whales have this amazing ability to help us to transform and to transmute whatever is holding us back, whatever is creating instability or what can we say, is stopping us from bringing through our clear information. So I've been doing this for, as I say, since 2003. I've been literally around the world holding these workshops and working with different people. And the workshops that we have, it's like, there's different parts to it. And I work with mandalas, so it's like color and sound through my voice and channeling. And but the main thing is the frequency that comes through. And it's kind of interesting to know something, but when somebody else feeds back and says to you, wow, I was looking at you and I saw all these beings behind you, and as you were toning, and she says every time you changed key or changed note, another one stepped forward.
Wow.
And so, when I'm doing it, I really haven't got that. I don't know. I'm not here, if you know what I'm saying. So I'm just in my presence, and I just, just allow. And the dolphins are the fun part. So what I found is the whales are the more serious, and they bring this, like mother strong energy. It's exactly what you would expect. But then the dolphins bring in the fun, and they are they bring in the joy, and they bring in that chitter chatter that is just like laughing. Okay,
I would totally expect that.
Yeah, and it's just, but they also are really fast. And so when they do come in, it's like they bring in that quickening and allow us to move in a fast way so that we can go forward in whatever way we want.
And so do they act sort of like anchors here to really, I mean, have they been trying to tell us this for a long time? Because I kind of feel like they must have.
Oh, yes. Yes. And it's not about, thinking about whales. I mean, the whales at the moment, I go down to Mexico and go on to see the gray whales. I've done it a few years. And they literally come up to the boats and want to be interacting with you. They want to talk and they want you to connect. And it's, if you think about around the planet, there's in all those places where there may have been tragic consequences for the whales, they're now turning it around and doing whale sightings where they go out in the boats and take people out to commune with the whales. So there's been a big shift in the awareness and the consciousness of the whales. Of course, there's still more that we can do. There always is. But on the whole, they are really trying to talk to us. And when they're journeying, they can track them now, so they know that that they go around the planet on the thermal waves, and they are literally singing their way around the planet.
Mm-hmm.
They sing.
I love that.
And there is even now there's technology that they can actually take that sound and show you what it looks like, and it looks like mandalas, like these beautiful mandalas that they're actually literally singing around the world. So it's quite extreme. And those are the ones in the water. I'm talking about when I'm connected to the ones that are up in the air, up in the heavens, so to speak. So the light ones. So what is in the heavens are here on the earth as well.
Wow. Wow. So, Anjahlia, take us to the Creation Portal project, and what is that about? Is it more than just what we're doing here or what you three are going to be working with here in the Northwest? Is this something happening all around the planet?
That's a beautiful question. And it is something that's happening all over the planet. And it's like this global wake-up call, I would say, where the portals, part of the work I do is working with these creation mothers. There's a cosmic creation mother who I understand was one of the big, she works with those mothers that created the earth. And there's these creation lines around the earth. And the portals, my sense, what she told me is that the portals were meant for humanity to go to remember their continuity with Source. That, as we go through this dualistic, polarized part of the ascension plan of ourselves in this planet Earth, was to forget in a way. And so the portals were meant to be a place where we could go and remember who we really were. So a lot of what our work is in our workshop is exactly that. And we each hold a puzzle piece that brings people closer and closer and closer to who they really are, what they came here to do, what their mission is, and how to serve the earth in the new earth shaman, in the new earth ascension plan. So there's all these other planets around us have already gone through this ascension, which is we're in it. And this is one of the only times in my understanding that this has happened where there's not a catastrophe or a flood, but we're moving through our own bodies, shifting up our DNA, and connecting back to Source, to this multidimensional totem pole I was speaking of, where you remember who you are. And that's the kind of ceremonies we'll be doing. We'll be doing activations, receiving dispensations, we'll be doing initiations, and each one of us will be bringing through different codes that we personally hold. And that will be being imbued upon with different people. I'll be channeling everybody's 3 ascended masters they're working with, and we'll channel precisely for each person other information. Each evening we're going to have a different one of us is going to hold the evening in like a healing ceremony or a whale ceremony or a journey, a multidimensional journey, or a working with the waters. And so it's kind of like the places where you haven't understood that we are more than we think, that we are holding heaven and the earth. And we're going to teach everybody how to become the new earth shaman, the new earth steward, which is learn how to be humble, learn how to have a pure and innocent heart, be open and forgiving yourself and forgiving everybody else, where we have lost this communication and the communion. I'm calling it the Great Communion. And so we're really, in a sense, with ceremony, helping people remember that vibratory field that they hold. And the fairies and the fire fairy works with this creation field. And that's what a lot of the work that I feel like I love to do with the portals is open these fields. And we'll be working with the waterways, the dragon lines, the ley lines, the serpent creation lines. Those things are all those need to open up with the portals. And then we begin creating again together the new earth that we want to live in. So a lot of the work is also, who are you? What are you going to create? And how are we going to create this together?
So it sounds like there's something for each individual and that participates, but that, do you want to sit here?
Nope, I'm good. I'm just moving these now.
So that there's something for each person that participates individually, but also collectively, then there's an impact that's happening for the planet.
Right.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And we're going to do this thing called a Merkaba. And this is maybe a stretch for people, but it's an interesting stretch because especially Amala and Sjamirra are ships of light, basically. And I'm on the Ashtar, and I'm a Sheehan, so I'm a ship of light also. And what that means is some of those people who are seers may see a Merkaba, a geometry, a sacred geometry. And it's this interesting thing that's almost like a phenomenon that we each are a Merkaba. And then when we get together, we create a new Merkaba. So the more we start merging and using our ships of light, we create greater and greater and greater light and love and creation on this earth. So it's this beautiful plan. It's like the divine plan of harmony, joy, grace. And we're going to work a lot with love, grace, fun, joy, all these things that we're secretly, where is it? What happened to that?
Where did it go?
We're going to have it on our amazing adventure together.
Yeah, and it looks like I was looking through the different places. So you're actually going to be
in three different places
during this retreat. So people will get to move through Orcas Island. So that requires the ferry.
Actually,
take four different places.
Yeah.
So tell us where this is all going to take place. Where
we're going to start is there's a beautiful place held by a friend, Jonelle, out on Big Lake that it's called Hummingbird Haven. And this is going to be a day where, and Anjahlia can tell more about that specific day. And then and actually 2 days, there's going to be an evening on the 3rd on Saturday night. And then Sunday, there's going to be a whole day where she's working. She's going to bring forth information about the fairies and the angelic realms of the earth, and she'll explain a little bit about that. And then we're going to have a couple of days where there's integration time for that. And then on Wednesday evening, I believe we're going to go to BC to Whitby's Books and Gifts. And that's where Amala's at, and Amala works out of there. And that's going to be an evening with divine frequencies activations with Amala, and Anjahlia and I are going to be there to support her. And then on Thursday night evening at 3 o'clock, we're going to go to Mount Baker to Maple Falls, and we're going to start the retreat, the 4-day retreat there. And then Sunday we'll leave, but Monday we will all join together early in the morning and gather on a ferry ride out to Orcas Island. And Orcas Island is an incredible energy that the Lummies have held sacred for a long, long time. In fact, in the ancient days, they considered Orcas Island so sacred that nobody was to live on there or inhabit it.
Wow.
It was just for ceremony. And so we're going up to where there's these galactic birthing portals is what it's called, but it's just the integration and finishing the weekend in a divine sacred way and birthing parts of you more fully so that you can embody these parts, really tap into it, because a birthing portal allows you to birth this part of you in the most easy way. It's just so much ease and grace. We don't have to do it hard anymore. You know, sometimes when we birth parts of ourselves and we're let go of the old and embracing the new, it can be a little bit of a struggle. And this is so easy to allow this to take place in that.
That easy is
the
so good.
Easy and joy. And it's so beautiful because we are overlooking the island. You're overlooking Lummi Island from there. You're overlooking, you know, Mount Baker. And it's just like this, it's just you need water. Water is how a new soul can birth through. Mm-hmm. It comes from the other planes. And when we have new souls birthing on the planet, you need those waterways to come in for a brand new soul. To bring in, because water carries the frequencies that supports it. Think about the mother having, you know, the amniotic fluid within her, you know, and they birth through that. And then, you know, how easy it is to birth in a bathtub, you know, with water. You know, so here we are with the water. And so that's going to be that. So I think I'd just like to invite right now the two ladies here to explain a little bit about the evenings that we're supporting them to do prior to the retreat and why it's important for their piece and their puzzle piece for that.
Who wants to go first? Amala, we'll choose you.
Oh.
Okay.
So the Wednesday night before the retreat, it's a 2.5 hour opportunity to meet us, and also to it'll be the first time that we work it together. And so the idea is that we bring our frequency and offer a glimpse of what we're going to be doing in those 3 days in the Mount Baker. But also it really is it's about that White Rock. There's a beautiful portal that is just outside of the beach, and it's almost cradled by Vancouver Island and Mount Baker and in Canada. And the portal, it's like a really beautiful bay, and the energy in that bay is really about. We often see whales coming into the bay, so there really is a depth there that we can tap into, and at the same time draw into ourselves as well as the particular area. So it's a little gift to White Rock and to the surrounding areas, where we're bringing in that frequency and we're activating and accelerating the portal, so that we can bring stability to the area, and we can help those not just those that wish, but also all those people that are living in this area to find more love and more light and more grace in their everyday life. I think that's really, what the aim is, but it's genuinely about frequency and grounding that energy through into the hearts. I think that's the key word, the hearts of all those that wish and that are open to receiving.
Yeah, let me tell you, I've been up there traveling up to across the border and meeting with Amala, and every time I go up there and I don't know why they're taking me there. I'm just being really tapped on the shoulder, to go across the border, meet with Amala. I've done it 4 times now, I believe. And each time, we go down to the bay and different parts to Crescent Beach, and there's a totem pole there that is just like, whoa. It has never been that easy for me to bring in pieces and parts and connect and see. It just has opened up my seeing a whole lot more. It's just activated to a level that I've never expected. And I think it's that the energy of that space, that area there. So it's just, that is just, it's for me to start there during the week before we go up to the mountain, it was just allows for us to just get a really good activation start to our week, to our week retreat. Don't you believe, Amala?
Yes, I do. Yes. Yeah.
Now, I was just noticing here that that says day 1, but it's on August 7th. Is that correct?
Yes,
where the divine
right.
frequency activation is?
Yes.
But on August 3rd and 4th,
that's before.
The
So
Saturday and Sunday
one,
before.
really. This one's the first one, and then that's the second one. So
but this looks like Seer Akashic readings. Is that what's going on at Hummingbird Haven then?
And
that's during the day. I'm going to be doing privates. During the day before the sound healing. I'll be doing private sessions, Seer Akashic record readings and soul listening readings at Sjamirra's also. So if anyone is looking to have a multidimensional, mind-boggling session and awaken parts of themselves, I'm going to be offering them. Yeah, soul-boggling, exactly.
So tell us a little bit, Anjahlia, about the work that we're going to be doing at Hummingbird Haven on the 3rd and 4th of August.
Right. So we're going to begin that evening, Friday, with a sound bath at this beautiful temple in an exquisite property. And that will be a sound bath that's also a channel guided kind of trancey journey, an adventure really. And we'll be working with the elementals, the undines, the fairy, and each time it's a new adventure. And usually what we're doing is learning to go through this adventure into the inner earth and retrieve something that we need. It might be a dispensation or a gemstone or something that's for our heart or our throat or some chakra that we've left behind. And that's also just an exciting thing to receive the frequencies of the divinity that moves through the fairy realm. And that's our first evening, and that will be like a sonic transmission with light language. In light language, if you haven't heard it, it's this beautiful language that speaks to you, to your soul. And it's not English, but it's much, much higher frequency than English, and it moves and opens doorways, and that all the sound helps connect you and open up and surrender. And so that's the evening of the sound bath. And then the next day we'll be going for a whole day with a potluck sacred lunch with the fairies in this property that it's so beautiful. I've only seen pictures of it, but there's a sense like everybody who is aware of the beauty of the earth and they go, oh, they can feel the fairies here or there, the trees. And it's like learning to connect to the earth, and we'll be walking the earth together, going to different places like waterfalls. And waterfalls are traditionally used in my work and indigenous work for cleansing and purifying. And then you can go through waterfalls in the back of them to other dimensions. And because I'll be channeling as we go with the different elementals and the undines and the unicorns, the fairies who are going to be working with us, it's working with the trust. This whole ceremony is to open the doorway to trust, because humanity has lost trust with the fairies, and the fairies have lost trust with humanity. And it's our sacred journey together is to make amends, basically, make ho'oponopono, which is like a forgiving ceremony, so that we can start seeing the unseen, the mystery of the world. See, the fairies have told us that they're ready to be seen. So that's what we're going to be working with that whole day at each different site, and learn, each person will learn to feel the energies and to understand and start seeing beyond the veil walls. And part of my work is to cut through the veil walls and to open these gateways. So it's going to be total magic the whole day in a beautiful place. Yeah. That's what and we're working again with the grids, like how to open up the grids so that we're bringing in harmony, peace, trust, love, all these liberation frequencies. So that's what we'll do that day.
Wow. And then I'm assuming you have a part.
Oh, for those two events, Amala is leading the one, and we're supporting her because we can't work in Canada, but we can go and support her, and we can do our work and stuff like that. And then Hummingbird Haven, that's Anjahlia's part, and we're supporting her there. And then the three of us are coming together and doing the retreat.
Oh, okay,
in co-creation with the Creation Mothers.
The Creation Mothers, I love it. So, Sjamirra, Londa, tell us where people can find out more information about this? Like I got this from you this morning with the whole with the schedule and outline. Is there a website people can go to where they can purchase?
There's actually a couple of websites and connections, and maybe you can put that up as well. They can contact me at Sjamirra at theseriouslibrary.com. That's my email. And or they can contact Amala has a beautiful website, and so does Anjahlia, that they have already linked this to. I'm working on mine today to link it to my website.
Okay.
But their websites, Amala, can you tell us your website, please?
Christine Amala.
Christine, that's the name of the website?
Amala.
Okay.
.com.
Oh, well, that's easy enough. Did I just spell that correctly? Christine?
That is right. Yes. Yeah.
And then Anjahlia
is www.anjahlia, ANJAHLIA.com. And then you can do /events, new events, or /market and go right to 2 different places where you can see our whole itinerary and syllabus, and also purchase this. And there's several, you can pay a deposit with Sjamirra's PayPal or my PayPal, or Amala may have a PayPal also. My PayPal is at kate.loye, Loye, @gmail.com. And Sjamirra, can you tell them your
Mine is at Londa, LONDA, LMP @yahoo.com. And on Amala's website, she's actually got the button where you can automatically click and go in.
Yeah.
Amala or Anjahlia?
Amala does. And I'm not so sure if Anjahlia's got that set up yet.
Yeah,
So
in the market, you can buy it. You can buy the whole package.
Oh,
but
good.
You can't do the deposit. That's why
Okay.
you have to pay on PayPal the deposit. But all the numbers are there on both of our sites.
Nice.
And for people who make a deposit of $300 before July 1st, they get the break in the price. After July 1st, it's going to be another $100.
And let's offer anybody who takes up the deposit or does the full price early bird, we'll give them a special sound integration at our retreat.
Yeah. That would be a good thing. And then so the event in Canada and the event with Anjahlia at Hummingbird Haven is actually, it's a separate price than the whole retreat. The whole retreat is $888. And then if you want to go out to the Galactic Birthing Portal on Orcas Island, there's you got to pay for ferry and food for the day, but there is catering and food available, lunch and dinner with that price, and the retreat center is included in that. Amala's event, I can't remember, is it 33, honey?
33, yes, yeah.
33 US.
Yes.
And then with Anjahlia's event, I can't remember. Can you tell us your price for the event for Hummingbird Haven?
For the day or for the sound bath?
Well, both. Give us each one, please.
Good luck with me remembering numbers.
Well, I see something is $150 from 10 to 4, and then $75 for a half an hour session. Is that correct?
Yes.
Does that sound right? And so let me ask a question. Can people participate in these individual events without getting the whole retreat?
Yeah.
So you have a series of things going on.
Correct.
Right.
So the first being the August 3rd and 4th at Hummingbird Haven with Anjahlia. And then on the 7th with Amala in White Rock, is it?
Yes.
Canada?
Yep.
Just over the border here.
That's right.
So it's really easy to get to.
Yes, it's really easy.
And then the next days, the 8th or the 9th, the 10th, and the 11th is the main retreat. Correct. Okay, gotcha. So I love it that there's this series, like you're building up to something, sort of doing the behind the scenes work first to get people opened and activated, and then boom, the retreat where you're going to actually do the work.
Mm-hmm.
And when we complete, we'll be completing, and we'll be bringing something new for the new earth.
Yeah.
From what each person's puzzle piece brings, they bring a certain gift. And then together we co-create this thing, and it has to be done with groups, and it has to be done with at least 3 people. So it's this beautiful magic alchemy that each person's heart starts dreaming this co-creation of the new earth. And that's my personal favorite, that we're going to do this big work that takes each one of us to light our light up and light up the earth and light up each other.
So let me ask another question, because some people out there may be thinking, yeah, I would love to do that, but I don't know how to do that. Is there any special skill anybody needs to participate in this, or is it open to anybody?
You're really just being open and listening to your heart. If you feel called, then really please get in touch with one of us and talk to us if you're not sure. But it really is about listening. I know when I very first went to one of Koala's events, it was like, well, I don't understand this, but I really want to go. And so I did. And then it was like, well, I really want to go and do that big thing. I went all the way to New Zealand to be in the Sacred Mystery School, not having a clue what I was doing, but I just knew I had to go. So it really is listening deeply to your own intuition and thinking, wow, this sounds amazing. I know I've got something that I want to give back. I know that there's something there for me. And just following that call.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we talk about this often here in the morning. We talk about listening to your body's wisdom. Like you're saying, Amala, that you don't know why. You just were pulled or called to go to New Zealand to do this mystery school. And the faith that we have to have in our own selves to listen to what's going on deeper within. Because you don't have to be a master of meditation or anything like that to participate. This is something that is open to anybody who is called to do this particular kind of work and support the, I love that you guys call this the Creation Portal Project. And awakening the creation temples of the Cascades. That's this particular part. But anybody can do this.
It's and also it's an awakening within your own being. It's just a deeper awakening. But also what I want to say, it's like a 4-day immersion into nature with the guardians and the teams, and just tapping into something you've never tapped into before, or if you have, taken it to a new level.
And learning how. We'll be teaching you how.
Yeah.
And we'll be channeling your specific guides so that you know who you're working with and helping you out.
Yeah, and just making that heart connection with something new.
So that you could learn, you'll be learning something, you'll be actually participating in the birthing of something. And thirdly, who doesn't want to be in the Pacific Northwest in the heat of the summer? In other places, we're in, the 80 degrees maybe.
Yeah.
If we're lucky.
Yeah. And we'll be working with your higher self and divine presence, and you'll be receiving divine gifts that your soul has been wanting. So it's kind of like your heart, your soul, your mind, your body, your spirit all come together in our work, and we'll be bringing this together. And if you want us to, we can share light language together.
Yeah, let's do.
Yeah. Before we do that, it's just, for me, it's bridging the spiritual world with the physical world, and how we can be within that and embody that, and then walk with that on the earth as we go back home after the retreat. It's like, how do we do that when we go back home too?
And we're going to teach them that too.
Yeah, and take it home with you. And so that if you ever travel to another spiritual portal, if you go to Mount Shasta, you go to Sedona, you go to Uluru, you go, to all these sacred places, the Himalayas, wherever, we're going to teach you how to tap in to what turn on that, and whatever that sacred place has to offer you.
Love it.
Yeah.
And it's also making this home our home. Because I know personally, I never felt like I was really of the earth or at home here. And working with all the creation mothers, you start to feel at home. Like this is what we're doing. We're I heard this thing is great. Like soon, once we go through this ascension, we'll all be going like, yeah, I was on Earth. I went through the ascension of the Earth. And it's like, like we're big timers here because we've gone through this creating home. And so we're home. Earth is going to be our home, which I think is a very exciting new dimension for us all.
Well, she's certainly beautiful. That is for sure. There's no reason not to make Earth your home, right? And love her and appreciate her and help her with this process of ascension.
Well, and you say the word appreciation and gratitude.
Yeah.
Just being an appreciation of gratitude and awe of the beauty of nature and everything opens you up, and it just feeds your spirit, it feeds your soul, and we're just going to gather in the light there and be in that energy.
Have you noticed how green everything is? It's this amazing thing that the green is greener and almost like holographic. It's like, it's so vibrant. And that's something that's shifting. That's like a sense of this vibratory field that we're beginning to now be aware of.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. All right. So we've got about 4 minutes left. What would you like to do? Is there something else you'd like to leave everybody with, or
No, I think, ending it with, 4-minute activation of light language from the girls would be beautiful.
And don't worry if it's more than 4 minutes, but go take it away, whichever one of you is doing that, or both of you.
All of us.
All of us.
Well, I'll do it. Yeah. We'll make a soup.
A soup. There we go. Primordial creation soup.
Yes.
So just breathe into your hearts. And let us send our heart beams to one another. As we open this beautiful portal of light, love, sound, and creation between us.
Manakiasa Manuela Oma Sa Anakiasa Omlanuema
Blessed be, blessed be, blessed be the earth, blessed be all beings. Blessed be. Namaste.
Namaste.
Woo-hoo.
Woohoo! See you
I
soon.
felt that. You got the dogs in my neighborhood barking. I couldn't believe it. That it was great. So that is a light activation that we just experienced with the sound of the whales. I could hear the whales. I could hear the sounds of the fairies and ancient language. There was some language thing going on too. That was pretty cool. All right. Well, thank you, ladies, for joining us this morning and for doing this work. This is really important work. And I hope some of you out there listening today who are interested will take them up on their offer. Come out here to the Pacific Northwest and experience the opening of these creation portals. And I will make sure that after the show is over this morning that I post up again the information so that you can talk to each one of these ladies about what your interests are in participating.
And the good thing is that everybody knows somebody, so share it. Because this is important work for everybody to tap into, and to receive. It's time to receive and be with the mother.
Thank you, Janet. This was so beautiful. What a beautiful time together.
My pleasure. This was awesome. Thank you, ladies, for joining us. And thank you all for tuning in today. I will be back again tomorrow morning. It'll be Friday, and we'll be talking about the solstice, more about Neptune turning retrograde, and whatever else comes up for us tomorrow. I know it's a highly energetic day, so we'll see you then. Thank you all. Take care, and bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Choo.